So for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have been using this mini sketchbook to sketch. And it's a sketchbook that I made myself. It's made of just cardboard, book cloth on top, a magazine for the inside covers, and just offcuts from the paper supplier for when I was buying paper for my handmade sketchbooks. So all this is bound by my daughter's hairband here. This sketchbook is really small, so I don't mind just putting it in my bag or even in my pocket if I'm going out or if I'm just going around my house to have a meal. But even though it's so small and I can bring it anywhere, when do I actually find time to sketch? So in this video, I'll show you how I try to find time to sketch between work, spending time with my family and friends, and all the stuff I need to do during the week. I was having lunch with my wife during the week, and after I'd finished eating, I was looking around for people to draw. Basically, I was trying to find people that wouldn't be looking directly at me. So these people are busy eating and there were people also queuing, so they probably wouldn't notice me. I placed my sketchbook under the table on my lap so that it would look less conspicuous. I usually find that there is a nice pocket of time to draw after a meal, because either I'm waiting for whoever I'm with to finish their meal, or there's always time to just relax and chat. And I find that it's easy to chat and draw at the same time. Keeping my tools simple helps with drawing on the go. I was using this fountain pen that I made myself. It's called the Black Noodle, and it's not for sale because I don't have time to produce it. It's pretty wet, so I'm not sure if everybody would actually appreciate it too much. But it has a G-nib. Well, has it run out of ink? Oh, it's run out of ink. So now I've filled it with ink again, and I'll just show it to you. This pen allows me to use the flexibility of the G-nib. These smudges are actually just from the ink. I'll just draw whatever, and then I'll just smudge it like that while it's wet. Because this pen is so wet, it's easy to do this. If it rubs off, I can just draw over it again. So it's just line and smudges. And that's what I was doing here. This was one evening when I was hanging around the living room with my 3-year-old son. I was doing a quick drawing of one of his toy cars. And then I tried to draw him, but he kept moving around so much. So there were a few unsuccessful attempts. Now I'm gonna draw you. Sit down.
What's this?
Car, the car. This is your hair. I'm seeing from here, my eyes. No, don't touch the camera. Don't touch the camera. And here I managed to draw most of him, but I had to draw it in parts because after drawing the hand, his leg would move somewhere else and everything. So I couldn't do my usual whole shape contour drawing first. I had to break it up into small parts, and that's how I noticed that I tend to draw when people are moving. I break it up into small parts. Here I was using the Uniball ultrafine gel pen. It has waterproof ink, so I could color over this with watercolor and the lines don't smudge. I have this weekly online Bible study with my friends where we'll just share what we studied during the week. So while I was listening to each of them speak, I was drawing them. I felt that they were perfect candidates to be drawn because they weren't moving much and they were just posing for me on the screen. So here I was trying to draw them as simply as possible, as in with simple shapes rather than going into too much detail. I have actually done this a few times and it always comes out slightly different. So I was using this fountain pen. It's a Sailor with a zoom nib. This is a more pricey pen because it has a gold nib. It's one of my favorite pens for drawing as well as just writing notes. It was a Friday evening and I was chatting with two of my friends around the neighborhood. I think because the book was so small, and when I am doing contour drawing, I am actually looking at the person instead of my book. I don't think she knew that I was drawing her. So this was on a Saturday when my wife had to be somewhere for an appointment. So it's just me bringing my 2 kids to a carnival, which was in a school. We went there early. I bought them ice cream, and when people are sitting down and eating, they tend to move less, and usually that's a really good time to draw. Adding in what they say does add some soundbite to this picture. And also adding some descriptions does help in describing what this scene is, supposing if I'm looking at this years later. Going out with 2 kids, I kind of knew that I wouldn't have my hands free because I would be carrying my kid's bag with his diapers and water bottles and other stuff, and I'll be carrying my own bag too. So I thought that bringing watercolor along would not be practical. So instead I brought these color pencils, and that would just allow me to keep things simple. So presently these are my favorite color pencils because they're really soft and they have good pigments in my opinion, and they're also light fast. So the darkest, which is Black Midnight, would be my dark outline tool and also my black area fill tool. These 3 colors, dark honey, apricot, and strawberry, would be my midtones. And for my really light midtone, I would sometimes use a gray fill. So while we were waiting in line for a carnival game, I decided to draw because we were just standing there queuing. Actually, I spelled queuing wrongly here. So I was carrying my 3-year-old with one hand and holding my sketchbook and drawing. As for the color pencils, I was actually putting them in my pocket, so it was easy for me to grab different colors. These are the balloons. So as you can see, I tried to get a few values here, from really dark to mid-tones to the highlights, which are the paper whites. On the same day, I went to eat dumplings at this eatery while waiting for my daughter to end art class. So while waiting for the dumplings to arrive, because this was a really popular place and we had to wait for a bit. So I was looking around and I could draw the crowds or the people around me, but I think this was the most interesting. People making the dumplings.
Okay. Papa get a bowl for you.
The next day I had lunch with my in-laws and my daughter was playing Monopoly with her uncle and aunt in the living room. So I was just sitting on the living room sofa and drawing this. I brought along these cellular oil pastels that I got recently. I actually got a whole bunch of them, as you can see, but I decided to just carry just a few out with me. It forces me to just be creative with just these few colors. This is by Holbein because the store that I bought this from ran out of white. So I was just using these and the color pencils. So these oil pastels are really soft and creamy. I find that they are more suitable for rubbing rather than just filling an area by drawing it on. It feels like pate that you spread on bread. So what I did was just to do the midtones first, which is to just place all these colored shapes in their respective positions. And then I used the midnight black, which is a bit bluish, for the main focus parts of the picture. And for the less important parts, like the tables and background stuff, I used the other mid-tone colors because that's less contrast. Monday, my wife and I brought my 3-year-old to the pediatrician to check on his constipation issue. And again, while waiting, I decided to draw a scene. So they were in the clinic. I was looking through the glass and these pieces of paper were blocking my view, but in a way it's kind of interesting. So this was my kid playing with another kid looking at a fish tank. This could be the same day, but in the evening, I picked my son from school and he wanted to play at the playground. Actually, this is chopped from the next page, which is easy to rub off. Here I just went back to using the Uniball signal. I don't really like drawing this playground structure because it's so complicated, but I thought why not? Why not just draw something that I'm not comfortable with and see if I can draw it in a more simple or a better way. Because I've drawn this playground before and sometimes it just looks completely messy. So this time I decided to just isolate the playground and just concentrate on the structure itself. And this is my kid playing in the playground. On that day, I actually drew it in black and white, and then on another day, I colored it with watercolor. And everyday life just continues. During the week, I was having lunch with my wife. After lunch, we decided to go to a coffee cafe to relax and just drink coffee. We got to sit at a bar seat looking at the baristas make coffee. I wasn't facing any customers, instead I was facing these machines. And the machines intrigue me because I do like machines. Sometimes it's good to just draw something that is meaningful to you, and usually what's meaningful to you is something that sparks your interest. That day I brought along these chalk pastels instead, which you have seen before in my other videos. Again, the same technique where I do the color midtones first and then I do the outlines. It does keep things more relaxed and loose. And as you can see, it looks looser because not everything needs to fall within the lines. And somehow I do like that quality. You can see this color coming out. So I rub the background shape with this color first. I tried to mix the colors because doing one color can be a little boring. I like to mix a bit of yellow, orange, a bit of red, and that makes it a bit more interesting. And then with these empty shapes there, I try to fill in all the details. And this is how it looks. Adding the description does add this additional context to the picture. So basically when I'm writing these captions, I'm trying to write what is not in the picture. On Singapore's National Day, August 9th, I met up with my friends for lunch at a Chinese restaurant, and we brought all our families with us. So it's a pretty big gathering. While the kids were playing and the adults were talking, I thought that was a good time to draw. So there are people all around me and I was trying to draw under the table. After a while, the food came and I drew the food here. But I kept it as just outlines because I wanted the main characters to be the star of this page. And also because when the food came, I just wanted to finish this picture and start eating. When I'm home, sometimes it's just hard to find time alone, get away from the kids and just draw. So a few nights ago, I decided to just ask my daughter to draw with me. And I've been trying to train her to draw so that maybe she could get into an art school. So that night we decided to draw some of my son's vehicles. What are cars?
All the cars.
3.
3. But why 3?
I thought it would be good for trying to handle perspective and dealing with all the little details in the cars from different angles. My daughter was just using pen and I was using the oil pastels and the color pencils. And this actually worked. It gave me some time to draw while my kids are around.
What are you doing? That's not the same method.
It's the same method. I'm just coloring first.
Well, why can't I do that?
You can. You can.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
You never asked. Anyway, you're just starting, so if you want, you can just try the simple method first, and then later on you can try this method. Up to you. Is it nice?
That's my car.
Yes.
She red.
Oh yes. Thank you for noticing. Look at the
It's
red
a
thing.
red.
Okay, don't move my hand.
No, this is white. And this is yellow.
Yes.
Anja is yellow. I got more. That's a red job.
And these are my daughter's drawings. She said she didn't want to draw the contour drawing style. And I can understand why, because it's a bit uncomfortable when you're drawing the outer shape and not being able to identify what the object is. But it is good training to get our minds to see shapes. So this is what I've been drawing so far, and it looks like I have a few more pages to fill up, and when they run out, I'll just fill it up again. So I hope that this gives you some idea on how you can also find pockets of time to sketch during a week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.